Greetings, my brothers. This is Sean Blazington with your daily news, and I have some breaking news about the Brandon Jennings and Carmelo Anthony beef. Recently, Brandon Jennings was in the news talking about how the trade talks took a toll on Carmelo Anthony, and he's talking about Carmelo because he's trying to avoid talking about the real reason why he got traded to the Wizards. Now, we all know that Carmelo is no punk. He's not a scrub, he ain't no pussy, he gets down for his. And Carmelo will tell you to your face if he doesn't like you, and that's exactly what he did to Brandon Jennings. It says here in my documents that Carmelo told Brandon, "I don't like you because of the way you treat Derrick Rose. We all know Derrick has injuries, but you don't have to treat him like that." See, here is some inside NBA stuff. During practice, Brandon Roy would push Derrick Rose, and Derrick Rose would just fall because, he has those bad ankles and those bad knees, and it would take a while for him to get up. And when he finally got up, he never confronted Brandon or told Brandon to stop, and this would irk Carmelo. And Brandon knew he could get away with this type of behavior with Derrick Rose because there is no way in hell Derrick was going to fight back. Brandon or anyone else in the NBA can break Derrick in half, and he knows this. It says here Derrick Rose's nickname in the Knicks locker room is Humpty Dumpty. It was all fun and games at first until Derrick broke down crying and told Phil Jackson what was going on. Phil decided to make some changes to the team, and that's one of the reasons why Brandon Jennings is no longer there. And this is the main reason why Phil Jackson paid Joakim Noah all that money to come to the Knicks. It's not because he's a good basketball player, but he knew that Derrick Rose would need a bodyguard, somebody that really cares about him, someone that will have his back. But there's only one problem. Joakim Noah is very fragile too, and the last thing he wants to do is get into a fight. It says here that Brandon Jennings would push him over too, and he would do nothing about it for the same reasons that Derrick Rose didn't do anything about it. And this really tore Carmelo Anthony up inside because he's a stand-up guy, but he's not about to fight someone else's battles. And I don't blame him because I wouldn't want to fight another grown man's battles, but Charles Oakley thought otherwise. It says the reason why he went off in the garden the way he did is because he wanted the owner of the Knicks to do something about the bullying in the locker room. You can tell by the way he mushed that security guard, the way he put his finger in his head and pushed it to the side. At that very moment, he told that security guard, "And it's your fault Derrick is getting treated like a bitch." Brandon Lee was causing havoc in that locker room, and that's why he's gone. But the thing that really broke the camel's back on the straw is when Carmelo Anthony caught Brandon Jennings trying to holla at Lala Anthony. It could have been friendly conversation because Lala is a very friendly girl and she talks to all kinds of people. She just has a bubbly personality, but Carmelo didn't see it like that. And not only was Brandon talking to his wife, he was talking to her while he was sitting in his Bentley. I know Carmelo has a Bentley. Hell, he has plenty of Bentleys, but you don't stunt on another man's wife. And that's when Carmelo went over there and dragged Brandon out of his Bentley and started to tax that ass. And he didn't only just tax that ass, it says here that Carmelo pulled a food stamp out of his ass. Look, you guys, it's go time. The playoffs are here. I'm about to be unleashing all of my documents on you. I've been holding back, but the world needs to know about this Brandon Jennings shit because he's been going haywire on Derrick Rose. Joakim Noah and Derrick goes to church together, and they pray that things will get better. And their prayers have been answered because Brandon is no longer with the Knicks. And this is how it happened. Although Carmelo hates Phil Jackson, after he beat up Brandon, he went to Phil's office and told him, "Look, Phil, I just beat that boy's ass out there." Hold on, let me get this paper because I want to read the actual statement. He says, okay, hold on. He says, "Look, Phil, I just beat that boy's ass out there and I don't want to play with him anymore. You're going to have to do something, Phil, because if he's not gone, I'm going to call Charles Oakley back up here. And Dennis Rodman, he wants a piece of your ass, Phil." And just like that, a few days later, Brandon Jennings was gone. And now he's in Washington, D.C., and that's a whole nother dookie situation because they don't want him there either. The first day when Brandon got to the Wizards, he started singing Humpty Dumpty Sat on the Wall, and then he tried to sit on John Wall's lap. And that's when the gates of Hades opened up on his ass. I have proof and documentations that the entire Wizards team jumped Brandon Jennings the first day he came to their team. It says here that Martin Gortat told the officials that they weren't beating him up to be vicious, they jumped him in their gang, and that's what made it okay. And that's what made the organization turn the other cheek on the situation. But Martin Gortat, he lied about that situation. They wasn't jumping him in a gang, they were beating his ass the same way Carmelo did in New York. Things are getting very vicious in the NBA. There's something new going around called dunk threats. These players are sending dunk threats to each other. And Brandon is getting a lot of dunk threats now that he has beef with Carmelo Anthony. It says here that LeBron sent him a dunk threat. D Wade sent him a dunk threat. It says Chris Paul sent a dunk threat, and even JaVale McGee sent him a dunk threat. But that's another situation with JaVale McGee and the Wizards. They have beef. I'm going to expose that on another video. I have so many documentations I don't even know what to do with myself. But yeah, Carmelo and Brandon have serious issues with each other, and you have to think, people, why did Brandon get traded after the trade deadline? That lets you know that what I'm telling you is actual facts. But anyways, I gotta get going. What I want for you to do is to enjoy the rest of your day, and I will be back soon with more daily news. I'll be back tomorrow with more daily news. I might be back tonight. But anyway, this is your boy Sean Blaze. I'm out.